So we spent today's session completely writing, which was good. Good to be back at it or continuing to move forward. And we're about halfway through our sixth episode. And, it's going quite well. I like to use the word swimmingly. I haven't used that word in quite some time. It's going swimmingly.
Today, Allison came to our session with a coffee in hand, which means that she was bouncing all over the walls and saying the most ridiculous things I've ever heard her say. And trust me, I've heard some doozies. I mean, she was talking about, of all things, she was talking about me being in some kind of a sex addicts anonymous meeting, or what did she call it, some kind of rehab or something, as if I would need that.
I think there's probably a funnier way to say some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if we want to go for funny, or if we just want to go for awkward, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But we just got to pick one and stick with it, I think. And I changed felling to feeling.
Oh, well, that's always good.
Yeah, because we were not addressing any trees in the episode. Otherwise, felling would have made sense.
Perfect.
Now, what about the dialogue between Gus and Carol? I thought that was pretty good, pretty realistic.
Yeah, I think we should plow ahead before we start doing cuts.
Okay, so...
I don't know if you agree with me. You tend not to be agreeing with me on anything since we reconvened after our absence, after you got out of rehab. I mean, that was a tough stint, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm tired today. I'm not really sure why. It's not like I returned from the clinic, the sex addicts clinic, which Norm, I think we talked a little bit about in a prior session, has had some experience with. It's all right to admit that you had a problem. It is.
Oh, that's nice, eh?
It's totally
That's nice
okay.
because that's all bullshit, and it's bullshit.
Look, I know that you had an alias when you went in because you're...
An alias?
Yeah.
I was never abducted by aliens.
Alias, not aliens. You're a voice. You're a voice in this city and in this country. And if you have to take some time out to address problems, it was a double one, wasn't it?
I'm not listening anymore.
Alcohol and
I'm
sex?
not listening anymore.
Addiction?
You wish.
This all stems from Allison's fantasy of having me, which she knows will never happen, and so she tries to make it seem like I'm the one with the sex problem. Give me a break.
So we have this festival, this town festival, a garlic festival, but a / meet and greet as well, which is funny because who wants to meet or greet anyone who's got a clove of garlic in their mouth? But you never know. There's been stranger things that have happened. And when we first started, it was going to be a festival. We weren't really sure. It was going to be the backdrop for a heated argument between two characters. But as we, again, have moved through this particular episode, we're finding these little nuances and these little sort of gems, if you will, in terms of this festival being the backdrop of a few relationships that might start to cultivate there. And that's been really interesting. The dialogue that Norm and I have had with respect to those particular possibilities has been good. It's been funny. Lots of laughs. I don't think we need that. I'm just going to assert my voice here. I don't think that is necessary. I think we need to go somewhere else to encourage, as you like to say, a passage of time. Passage of time.
God.
Well, we don't need that.
So we just want to show them having sex, is that it? And just jump right into it and just say, well... So we go from a joke, you could say I'm spoken for, and next thing we know he's banging her on the desk. Is that what you see? I think that's...
Well, I didn't see that, but now...
I think this is... Yeah, it's real life, but it's a story. You won't want to tell how it happened. How did it get there? Here's your roadmap, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I mean, is this your life? Do you just meet someone for coffee? Next thing you know, bang! I know it takes a little wooing for me.
Never.
It takes
never
a little wooing
do I
for
do
me.
That.
Wooing.
Wooing is, hey, how you doing?
Wooing is, let me get my pants off.
Wooing is, would you like a glass of wine? Sure, I'm yours.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay, so you want to nix that kind of a scene. So when do you want to see them together next? When they're
when she lets her, when they're getting ready to go. I don't think we need her to say, "I'm looking forward to it." I think we go somewhere else to pass time, come back, and she knocks on his door, and her hair's all down, and he's.
But don't you see the potential here?
No, I don't.
She says to him, "I can't wait to, I'm really looking forward to going to the Garlic Festival with you." And he's like, yeah, me too. Like, whatever.
Oh, okay. So you want to set it up a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
He's in his office. She knocks on the door. Her hair's all down. Maybe she's got a boob out or something. And he's like, "Whoa."
Right.
I
see where you're coming from. No, I do see where you're coming from. I just
it's logical. It's logical. It's supposed to happen. Not just banging on the desk. Bang, bang, bang. Hey, you look familiar. Bang, bang, bang. What time is it? Bang.
I think these are strategies that he learned when he was in rehab for his sex addiction.
Allison came today with coffee, for herself, and she was bouncing all over the walls. She was sitting there just like practically the whole writing session. Thank God, at least I had the wherewithal to put the actual words on the page and keep Allison in line. And I do believe a number of times she said I was right about something.
Maybe Norm was right. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say he was, definitely, but...
if we just put I'm claustrophobic first, and then my issue is that I get claustrophobic in large crowds.
Right. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe. Do you want me to say that again? I think he's right. Maybe there's a slight chance or possibility, option. It could be an option, right? That he was onto something. I think he is right.
You see, thing is, because I edit this, I can do whatever I want, which is kind of cool.
So this is a scene about Pastor John saying goodbye to a lot of people, huh?
Well, it's the end of the sermon, and people leave the church, and he says goodbye to people.
Okay.
How is that bizarre?
Well, he said goodbye like halfway up the.
At least a fucking festival doesn't break out.
Page, You say hello.
I'm just going to start singing.
Da-na-na-na. All right. Focus.
See? This is what happens when you have coffee.
I know. And you know what?
I always wondered why Pam said that to me.
What?
She can always tell when I've had caffeine. Always. And I'm like, no, I've been drinking coffee so long it doesn't affect me. She says, oh, it affects you. Look at you. You're bouncing all over the walls. Your clothes are coming off like left and right.
The festival is an idea that we came up with, well, I guess when we originally started writing, not just the pilot, but the other scripts that we had written. We had talked about the festival. Then we had made a list of the remaining episodes and what they were going to be about. And I think the festival, to me, was one of those scripts that we wanted to write.
Pastor John is shaking hands with people as they leave the church. This is where we were going to look at a potential budding romance between Pastor John and Fannie Mae, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thanks for hanging in there. We'll see you tonight at the Garlic Festival in town. Meet and greet.
Interesting sermon this morning. I would have gone elsewhere with it. Anyhow, Frank and I can meet you here at 5:30 and we can all go to the Garlic Festival together.
Oh, well, Fannie Mae's already offered to walk me to the festival this evening. You could say I'm spoken for.
Frank?
Pastor John in turn speaks with others. We follow the Godwins as they walk away.
Fannie Mae, she's nothing but a little sex pot.
Oh.
He needs direction, not a distraction.
And then
that
note.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, here we are again on an open road.
I know for myself there were, I think, 3 key things that I wanted to write past where we had stopped writing before. One of them was the first one was the festival. The second one was when one of our characters' estranged boyfriends comes back into town, and he's not very welcome. And then the third one is the finale episode, the last episode in which all hell breaks loose. And so those were 3 key moments for me while we were writing Gentle Ben, the original version. I was always saying, I can't wait to write this scene, and I can't wait to write that one and that one. Those were the 3 pivotal scenes that I'm really, really looking forward to write.
What do they do in small towns?
Oh my gosh, they light it all up. Like, Perth is gorgeous.
Yeah?
Yeah. They have little festivals and decorations and stuff.
Festivals?
Yeah, like a lighting festival or stuff like that.
They don't just turn shit on. They have to have a festival. Fucking small towns.
They need to celebrate something.
God.
You think that a character's on a certain journey, and then all of a sudden somebody else can come in and maybe shift them and move them in a different way. So I'm excited. I'm going to say that it's been challenging for me, as I've mentioned before, but for the first time in a few weeks, I'm actually feeling excited about returning to this script. And I think it's kind of cool that you finish a session halfway through a script. So that can give you a few days to try and figure out, maybe come up with some ideas about where you want to move.
That's something I'm going to have to figure out.
Well, yes, because I didn't know that was dialogue.
Yeah, but you're not that bright. I mean, I could tell because it goes Carol and then facetiously.
Facetiously. See, now, if you didn't know how to say that word, how would you say that word? Facetiously?
No. But it looks like facetiously.
It does.
Yeah.
Facetiously.
It looks like facetiously.
So how do people learn how to say facetiously instead of facetiously?
Well, you know, Alison, there's this thing called education. And what they do is they start you off in these classes when you're very young. And as you go through the classes, they learn you things.
They learn you.
And when you get learned enough, then you can go out to the real world and learn other people. So,
on a personal note, I was offered a really interesting job this morning, and it's like an adult job in the arts, in the theater. So that is something that I'm thinking about. It would change my lifestyle, probably. I wouldn't say significantly, but it would be a full-time job, and so things would change with respect to any acting opportunities that I have. Writing opportunities would still be fine, but it's a job that I think I probably would become really passionate about. It would be working with children, and I think that sort of would help to get me back to that pure, sincere, creative time.
Although it would make sense for him to talk to Howard first.
Yeah.
And say, I got a letter from Catherine yesterday. Oh, really? What was it about? You know, and so forth. And then Howard can, ooze his genius, or what do you call that? His wisdom.
Oh! As we progressed, as we kept talking, it became clearer, more evident that we need to bring this person in. And when was the last time we saw these people, and what were they last doing, and how do we bring them into this episode and further move their particular story forward. So that's been kind of fun and interesting, trying to keep that in mind while moving forward in a more general sense.
She must repress stuff, eh? Like this, I get the impression she's repressing a lot of sexual tension and anxiety. I mean, I have to say, like today, I'm wearing, it was one of my favorite sweaters, and I'm pretty sure that this probably set her off. I'm pretty sure that she couldn't focus on the script. Like I even asked her, I said, look, you come up with some conversation, and I came back downstairs. She's like, yeah, I couldn't think of anything, and I'm thinking it's because, and then she saw the sweater, and she's like, oh boy, I wish. Whoops, I just went off. That's exactly what Alison wants.